Did we just lose our privilege on that because we got it so wrong? Or would you like to do the media poll? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'd love it. And I think I've told you guys before, look, let's just pick names out of a hat and we could probably do better. And actually, if anyone would have done that, you would have done better. I don't know if you guys looked or not. I went back and looked. Of the media poll for the Big 12, last year for Big 12, of the 16 teams predicted between 1 and 16, not one team was in the correct spot. All 16 were wrong. That's hard to do on purpose. And somehow we pulled it off. Look, I don't know what you guys think about it, but and this is not coming from anybody at the Big 12, just my personal thoughts on this. I think the Big 12 decided to get rid of it because of the perception it created with the league. When you have a team that basically the so-called experts pick them as your worst team and they win the league, then I think, the perception may be, well, wow, this league is not really that good. When I just think it's the opposite. It's just so freaking competitive that anybody can literally win it. So, I'm sure Yormark will get asked about that next week and he'll have a response. But, example of that is on Monday, I'll tweet out the Vegas win totals for all the power conference schools. And just to let you guys know, the Big 12, the highest win total is only 8.5. Mm-hmm. The lowest win total is only 5. So basically you've got, these are all games and not just conference games. You've only got 3.5 game separation between 16 schools. And when you look at the other power leagues, Big Ten, SEC, and ACC, the difference between the top team and the bottom team is either 7.5 wins, 7 wins, or 6 wins. So they have and have not. So those teams at the top can take advantage of the teams at the bottom. The problem for the Big 12 is not the problem, but the challenge is they don't have any, quote, teams at the bottom. They're that equal. And it doesn't mean they're all bad. Doesn't mean they're all good. It's just they're that competitive and there's not a lot of separation. And so going back to your original question, I just think they didn't like the perception that the worst team won the league. And you guys know how everybody's worried about perception these days. But we'll see what Yormark has to say. But again, this year it's as crazy as ever. I picked Utah to win it this year, so they'll probably go 1-11, but they've got as good a chance as anybody. And I think on your show last year, you asked me who I liked, and I said, well, it's easier to name the schools that have no chance. And I said Arizona State was one of those schools. So, yeah, what do I know?